Hello everyone, we're here today to discuss a narcissist. I'm constantly being called one, so I want to know, am I a narcissist? So, having said that, let's read the definition and go over 5 traits. Definition: a narcissist is someone who is excessively self-centered with an inflated sense of self-importance and a deep need for admiration. They often lack empathy for others and can be highly manipulative, taking advantage of people to get what they want. That's the definition of a narcissist. It comes with 5 traits. And I'm going to go through these in no particular order. The one I don't like is being grandiose or grandiosity. So we're going to start there. What is grandiosity? Well, if you start looking at definitions, it means egotistical, superiority. I am better than you. Where do we find this? Who exhibits these traits? Math teachers do it quite commonly. I ran a tutoring business for math, and I'd have students come in and go, I can't even understand what my teacher said. And I start looking at their notes, and I'm like, I don't even know what they said. It's just a jumbled mess of hot garbage. Then the test comes up, and the problems are phrased very poorly. Well, when the students tell me when they get the test back, the teacher gets up there on the board and starts working the problem and says, look how easy this problem was. The only reason the teacher does that is for a sense of superiority. So are all teachers narcissists? I have no idea. I'm most certainly not, because that's not my motivation. My motivation is to help others. That's why I make these videos. What about the homecoming queen? Would she have a sense of superiority? Probably quite a few of them do. What about the quarterback of the football team? Probably. What about my ex-wife? Well, here's an example that she did to me. She would constantly tell me that I'm dumb, I'm not smart, I'm nothing. And then later she went and got a PhD in bilingual education, so she could say, I've got a PhD, you don't. That is a sense of superiority. That's trying to make me feel inferior. Therefore, she is important, I am not. First one off the ship, so to speak, which, in my opinion, women and children are first, so it wouldn't have mattered. But you get the idea. The next trait is constant need for validation. They have to be constantly told they're superior, they're pretty, they're beautiful, they matter more than anything else. They have to constantly have their ego fed to stoke the flames. Fake boobs. Why do women get fake boobs? That's a story for a whole nother video. But women get them. And men will look at them because they love boobs. How about that perfect hair? You spend forever getting the hair perfect. Look at mine. It's so perfect today. That's why I shave it off. I don't care. Designer clothes. I don't care. I buy certain brands of clothes because I can wear them to death. Notice some of the shirts I'm wearing in these videos. They're 5-10 years old because I paid $100 for that shirt and it's lasting $100 worth of wear. That's why I buy those clothes. I don't buy them because, oh, look at me, look at my horse right here, or look at my purse. Okay, these things get you attention, which is that constant need of validation. Here's a bad one my ex used to do. When we first got married, we'd go shopping together, and she's watching everyone in the store. And one day she told me why. She's looking for the reaction at our age difference. I was 20 years her senior, and she fed off the shocked looks that people were giving when they would see her public display of affection looking towards me. She loved it, and she told me one day that she wasn't getting it in this store. We have to go to a different store. And that should have been a warning sign to me, but we'll talk about that in another video. But there you go with your constant need of validation. Buying cars, spending money, living in the best neighborhood, carrying the proper purse, following the people that matter, going to the country club where you can talk to them. All these things build up that ego. And it goes hand in hand with grandiosity. I'm sorry, these two are interconnected. Let's move on to our next one. A sense of entitlement. It's the feeling that I deserve to be rich. I deserve designer clothes. I deserve to have $20,000 worth of purses on display where everyone can see them. I deserve to be at the country club. I deserve a new house every 3 years. These things I should have. You do not stand in my way to get them. Am I speaking from experience? She wanted a new house every 3 years. I could care less. I've been in this house for 6 years since I won it in divorce, and I'm trying to hang on to it for everything I can. It's huge. I don't need a huge house. My girls grew up here. They need to be here. This isn't a sense of entitlement. This is a sense of home for my daughters. They feel great having a home to come to that is always there. Designer cars. Yeah, well, you could call them that. I know some of the companies like Jaguar have tried to do designer ads, and it fails horribly bad. But luxury cars, let's rephrase that. Like BMWs, Lexus, Mercedes. I have to have these things. I'm entitled. I don't care what it costs. Let's change that car out every 6 months to a year. Yes, we were doing that. At one point, we had 5 BMWs in the driveway, and I was paying for all of them. That's definitely a sense of entitlement. Okay? We got to go on fabulous trips. We take the entire family. Everyone goes with us. Everyone. All the in-laws, everything. I don't care it costs $40,000 to go to Disneyland. I deserve the trip. This is the sense of entitlement, and it comes with manipulation. You have to manipulate people to get it. It comes with grandiosity. I deserve this. I am important. Everyone needs to see me on these trips. Posted on Instagram. How wonderfully beautiful we are. Constant need for validation. The items are the validation. Yeah, this one ties them all together. All right, next up, manipulation and exploitation. If you were paying attention to the last part, I talked about how she would call me dumb all the time. That's a form of gaslighting, which is a form of manipulation. She would tell me I'm not a people person. And yes, I'm focusing on my ex-wife with this one. Way more experience with this one than I would love. She would tell me I'm not a people person, even though I ran a business where I had 300 people a day walking through the doors. I can't do that if I don't understand how to talk to people. And if you ever come across me, I talk to everyone. I'm in the grocery store, H-E-B, locally, and I talk to everyone I come across. It's just who I am. And I'm being told I'm not a people person. Why would you do that? You need to make them feel small. You need to make them feel bad. That way you can manipulate and control. The same thing with you're not intelligent, even though I have 250 undergraduate hours of college credit. And I have a degree in physics, a degree in civil engineering, focusing on building structures. And I almost had a math degree and had minors in sociology and horticulture of all things. You know? And she's telling me I'm dumb. I can't get all that stuff and be dumb. It doesn't work. And I'm good at teaching. And she would tell me she's a better teacher than me. Look at all my wonderful students. So why do they manipulate? Well, manipulation allows them to control, okay? And control leads to the next one. A complete lack of empathy. You cannot do all of these things without the complete lack of empathy. Do you care what your spouse is going through to try to give you the house, the cars, the purses? No. Do you care what their feelings are when you tell them they're dumb? No. How much are you hurting them saying they're not a people person? You don't care. You have no empathy. Run up a $500,000 IRS bill. Walk away. Leave it for your ex-husband. Don't care. That's a lack of empathy. People are tools. They're not people. Children are props on Instagram. So you can build a following. You don't care that the children don't want to sit there for 3 hours while you get that perfect shot. Because you need that perfect shot to feed all this other stuff, to feed your ego, to feel grandiose, to have that sense of entitlement, the validation. Empathy is the one, lack of empathy is the one that allows all of this to happen. They just don't care about anyone. They stomp all over you. You are useful until you're not, and then you're nothing. You throw them away like last year's garbage. It's what they do. So am I a narcissist? I keep building the case my ex-wife is. I got the evidence. I've lived the life. But am I? We'll talk about that in a final video.